Hey guys, and welcome back to another Nate Max TV Gathering of Momentum, number 12. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for tuning in. First, I want to say basically thank you to all the people out there who share, like, post, and talk about these YouTubes. As some of you do know, we are on podcasts now, and the idea behind that is so there's no censorship on podcasts, where we can put these videos out there and these audios, and when we release a new one like today, you'll get a notification. So all you have to do is subscribe to Nate Max TV on any podcast channel. We're global on over 50 different platforms, and you'll get the notification and you can download it and listen to it at your own time. So that's the difference between, I suppose, podcasts and YouTube. When you have the YouTube on, you kind of can't really do anything else, and it takes up a bit of time. So thank you very much, guys. And I've got an amazing person who I've met just recently at one of Jeffrey Slater's speaker training courses. His name's Tommy Cassano. And he is basically an ultra athlete. This guy is a celebrity trainer. He's a mentor to a bunch of people, and he's a researcher, a biohacker of human health and wellness. This is just a small tip of the iceberg, what he's into and what he gets up to, but he's got an amazing profile and does great things. And he's also having the whole awakening as well, and getting into the jungle and getting that feminine aspect and embodying that into this masculine world that we're in at the moment. So he's going to have some information today on detoxing, on training, on health, and what's going on for him in his life, and also a little bit of a background information, because I love to get him back on again for another interview. So thank you, Tommy, and how are you, my friend?
Thanks, Nate. Thanks for having me on, brother. I appreciate it so much. Welcome.
So what's coming up for you at the moment, and like what have you been into? You know, like you're such an exciting dude with so much going on, and maybe tell the people a little bit about yourself and some of the people you train and what you get up to on a daily basis, so we know who you are.
Absolutely. Give you a little bit of quick rundown of what I do, then get a little into my biography and where I've been, where I come from. So currently I'm in Manhattan Beach, California. It's Beach City in Los Angeles, for those of you that don't know. And I moved out here about 4 years ago, pursuing my passion of health, wellness, vitality, just bringing the best out of others, bringing the best out of myself. And I own a gym in Manhattan Beach. I train celebrity athletes upward towards the weekend warriors, the executives, but a lot of high-profile clientele here, which is amazing.
Wow.
Great networking community here in
Yeah.
Manhattan Beach. And then I also launched 30-day detox programs, which have been amazing and successful. I also do some corporate wellness, public speaking, keynote speaking. So just getting into a lot of things here in Los Angeles, but the overall aspect is, making people better through health, wellness, having, mindset training, mindfulness. And I use all those things personally in my life because I run trail runs, which are, 50, 100 plus mile mountain races.
Wow.
Around the country and around the world. It's it's an endurance athlete sport. It's more, I do a couple a year just to be a little bit competitive and keep my mind right, but they are absolute challenge, and I bring those aspects into, real world life and situations with my clients and the people I work with. So
yeah, wow, what an inspiration. And those endurance races, it's such a different type of fitness compared to going to the gym and pumping a few weights or doing a bit of CrossFit. It really is.
Absolutely.
Boils down to the mind and controlling the pain and like, can I keep going? So it must be a really brain strengthening thing to do such high intensity endurance runs like that.
Absolutely. And, that's when I first actually, crazy story. I moved out here 4 years ago, and I really didn't start running because I played college sports, college football. And I never in my entire life ran more than 2-3 miles. And I remember just started running and hiking in the mountains about 4 or 5 years ago. And I just became obsessed with the mountains because I used to take trips with my family, my dad, and actually come from a hunting family. And we, have property around, and we just love the great outdoors. And we always took trips to different national parks. So I just connected really, really strongly with running in the mountains. I don't really like running in general. on concrete, because I just know as a performance athlete and kind of my knowledge through health and wellness, that, you know, just the impact on my knees, ankles, joints on concrete and that, you know, length of time just takes a toll on me. And I just don't really connect as I do in nature. So long story short, I was boxing a lot at the time, and I thought I had Achilles tendonitis. I went to like 3-4 different doctors, and they're like, yeah, you got Achilles tendonitis. I'm like, no, I'm 30 years old. There's no way I have Achilles tendonitis. And I got introduced to an amazing body healer. He does structural balancing through, you know, the cranium down, starting with the phenoid, and, you know, his belief, which is essentially, you know, part true, and, you know, it works to a very strong degree. There's a lot of theories out there, but, you know, your structural alignment from your brain down is all connected, and once that's perfectly in line through different shifts, it could be concussions in the past, your body will just be perfectly fixed, and, you know, you'll be able to do and fix certain little things within your body that normally going to a doctor wouldn't be able to. So once again, long story short, he fixed my ankle, and 2 weeks later I ran my first ultra, a 50-mile race in the mountains, and I really didn't run more than 10 miles my entire life before that. I haven't even ran for like 7 months because my ankle hurt so bad.
Wow.
From that point on, this was about 2.5 years ago, it was my first ultra 50-mile race. I just became obsessed with it and running in the mountains. So hence now I've run a couple 100-mile races, a couple 50-mile races. Just hundreds and 50-mile races in the mountains. So it's a lot of mental and mind training.
Yes.
And the biggest training for that is visualization and pretty much the mindset going into something like that. And, you know, it's strengthening the mind on a day-to-day basis and visualizing yourself going for 32 hours straight in the mountains without sleeping. So,
wow. That's, for 32 hours, that really hits home. You know, people don't go without eating for like half a day and they think they're going to die, you know, like even getting into the fasting, people talk about fasting and they're like, but I'll die. And it's like, no, you'll survive and you'll live and you'll thrive. So this is like retraining the mind, like to be strong, to be that warrior. And also the visualization is connecting us with our intentions. Like when we're doing the meditation, we're doing the inner energy work. This is intention-based. We're focusing on the outcome and we're co-creating it. So there's no different to doing that, let alone running. You know, running, focusing on the goal, focusing on the end goal. And what I wanted to ask you, what's the difference between the mindset when you run 10 and then going, fuck, I've got to run 10 times that now? Like, how do you step from 10 to suddenly going to 60 or 100 or whatever, where you don't even know if you physically can make it, let alone do a good effort at it? That's interesting among games in itself.
That's a great question, because for everyone it's different and you think of different things. I remember my first 50-mile race, I had I had 5 dates, and they were like coconut covered dates. And before the race, I'm like, okay. I'm like, every time I run 10 miles, I'm allowed to eat one of these dates.
Right.
A big sugar bomb, you know, like 35, 40 grams of sugar. Just give me a nice sweet rush while I'm running.
Yep.
So that, I mean, as simple as that sounds, that's just, there's multiple things like this you do in the race. You're thinking it's the craziest shit ever. You're just, you know, hallucinating at times. But I know if I have those dates in my pocket, every 10 miles when I eat that date, I'm going to look forward to the next 10 miles and I can eat that date. That literally got me through my first race.
So it's like an incentive.
those little incentives.
Yeah, cool. There's no Macca's on the side of the trail, is there?
What's that?
There's no McDonald's on the side of the trail, is there?
Now, there are aid stations, and they're different, 7 miles, 15, 20 miles, because you do need water.
Okay.
Have little bananas, nuts, and they help you out.
Yeah.
But there's periods of time. I remember my last race. Oh, man, this one was brutal. It was down outside of San Diego, the Cleveland National Forest, and it was just a terrible, terrible 100-mile race. It was so hard. It was the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life. And I was in pitch black running by myself. It had to be 7 hours, literally in mountains I've never been in my entire life, pitch black.
Wow. 7
miles. There was no aid stations. There's maybe 1 or 2 within that 7 hour or so time frame.
Whew.
And that period of time mentally, I just remember thinking to myself, just think about how how much better it is going to be on the other side. What am I, like, why am I here? Basically, I go through these periods of like, it's almost meditation for me. So like a lot of times when I film little videos, when I'm out there, I think I say this is my meditation, because it really is. And it's, especially in the dark, getting in my own head and just knowing and coming through certain, even like breakthroughs for me, as that sounds, you know, during those times. And it's just really mentally digging deep and being strong to the core, but also not letting go of your ego, because when you do at these points during, you know, 75 miles, 80 miles in, that's where you get in trouble.
Right.
You can speed up your heart rate, your nutrition's off, your water's off. I've gotten really dehydrated at points because I pushed too hard, and I thought I had an aid station that mile, and it was, you know, 4 or 5 miles ahead. And, you know, it's calming the ego down. And I think bringing out different things, like, you know, bringing in your feminine in these situations. So it's a balance.
Humbling.
Yeah. Being humble to yourself too.
Right. And so when you're doing this run, is there like someone, like, do you have people who might run behind you and you run together for ages, or you're generally by yourself? Like, how's it kind of work? Is there a pack that you'll catch up to and pass them, or?
Yeah. So typically when the race starts, there's anywhere from 100 to 200, I would say, at the max. It's not a huge community, but it's pretty tight knit community of these ultra runners. It's getting popular with Spartan races and you know, long endurance sports that are becoming prevalent, because it's great. It's a new mental challenge for people out here, and they're fun too. But it's probably, I'd say 100 people. Then within like an hour or two, you just get spread out throughout the entire race. There's times where I've ran with someone, you know, an executive from Chicago for 4 hours, and then I never saw him again the rest of my life. But it was amazing because I got to meet new people. Sometimes you're by yourself, sometimes you're in a group with other people. But typically you're finishing solo by yourself. And unless you're like elite, like finishing these things in 20 hours, which I'm not claiming I'm an elite competitor. I finish these and I do the challenge, and I can compete against myself. Cool, man.
And are you speaking to these people when you're running, or are you just kind of both just running?
Oh yeah, you know, sometimes you're just on your groove, sometimes you're encouraging. My first 100-mile race I ran, you guys can look him up on Facebook. He's called the Jester, Jester. He holds the Guinness Book of World Records for I believe it's the most races in a year. And he's like, I think he's around 50 or so. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Jester. But he ran with me throughout the entire night, my first 100-mile race, and it was a cool because he helped me out.
Right, that's awesome. Okay, so
the clown outfit.
That's amazing. Like it's a whole other paradigm. I'm just trying to envision it. You know, unless you've done it, there's no way you can explain it. And it's like fasting, you know, has its own thing where there's no way you can explain to someone what fasting's like until they do it. And we do stuff here in Australia with a Native American Indian shaman. We do the Vision Quest. So it's the 4 days and 4 nights with no food and water, kind of in the jungle, or the bush, as we call it in Australia, the bush. And that's, you know, you can have a sip of water. I think you might get 500 ml, maybe over the 4 days.
Wow. And
so you're out in the bush, you can hear wild dogs carrying on, there's noises going on, it's pitch black, and you're miles away. Like you're put out probably, you know, 5 miles or whatever away from the camp. So if something were to go wrong, you're actually not in a very good situation. And the men, they don't have anyone looking after them. The women who do it, because we have a lot of really warrior women here, they do the Vision Quest too. And at night, sometimes we'll creep down, and it's called vigil, where you watch over them, but they don't know you're there. So you kind of just keep an eye out if you hear dogs and things like that. And this is all strength training, brain training, and getting us back into our primal instincts. Like you've got nothing. You can't cry. You can't give up. Your mind's going, oh, just go lay on the side of the road for a bit, or just jump in that car or whatever and just get a lift back and just go back to doing your normal life. Why are you doing this for? It's stupid. Like, it's funny the thought process that comes up when we get put into a situation which is uncomfortable. And I'll tell you was uncomfortable for me was the first time I did plant medicine. Now I know that you've been hitting the jungle up and getting out there. How's the plant medicine and ayahuasca and things like that, how's that been for strengthening your fear and, you know, what you can achieve in your limitless? Like, how's that work for you with this training?
Yeah, absolutely. I guess to start off with that, it came into my life about 2 years ago, just through word of mouth, being out in California, and you hear ayahuasca and plant medicine and terms like that thrown around, and I got interested. more and more as I did various avenues for self-development for myself. I've been to Tony Robbins and these self-help people around and read all the books in the world. Not all of them, but a lot of them for self-help. And
A lot.
I'm an explorer, and I like trying different things to enhance my body, my mindset, and bringing that and exposing that to others to help others out also. So this past year, I went through a mutual friends and found our friend out and went down to Peru in the Sacred Valley. So we were actually in the mountains in Pisac outside of Cusco. And,
wow. Beautiful.
Going down there and not being exposed to plant medicine, I had a pretty open mindset and no expectations, but my direct path for trying something new for self-development was like really getting out of my own way, getting
comfort zone,
shedding the, I like to say like that facade we've had our entire life where other people are telling us what to do, whether it's, I don't know, family, friends, whatever it may be. We all have that. We all live with that, and that's fine.
Yep.
But, when you feel like something like that is holding you back, you have to go towards what, is your calling. And my calling was go down there and do plant medicine, and that's exactly what I got out of it. And it's it's a continuing education. It's not like the cure-all for anything. There's nothing like that out there. You're always going to have to do self-work and development no matter what you do in life, no matter what it is. If you're not in tune with yourself and commit yourself mentally to what you're trying to achieve, it's just not going to happen. So using it in that sense and what I got out of it is really powerful. And the most powerful thing I've ever been exposed to, because it's the first time where I really felt like I embraced, they like to say it down there, the feminine and the masculine were both equal 50%. And that's not to saying, I'm being a wimp or crying all the time or this and that, but it's really letting go of your ego.
Right.
So, letting go of my ego and just being open up to every living being in the world, essentially. And just seeing things from a different side that really more compassion, and love.
Amazing, dude. And so how was your first experience? Like, how was it? Like, what for you? Like, could you explain some of the viewers out there who have never done plant medicine before? Yeah. Like, a little bit of the process and just, because it's a new thing for people out there. It's a lot of people have access to it now, and it's crazy. There's other realms out there, and a lot of people question. It's difficult because, especially Western people, they're very locked in a box. Like, we're very programmed since before birth. We're actually getting programming since before birth. Information that's coming into the womb with the parents, we're actually absorbing it straight away. Then we come out to, children's television, preschool, primary school, high school. By the time we get out of high school, we've got so many layers of filtration over our eyes that we have absolutely no understanding of what the world's like. And we don't have the elders around anymore. We don't have the medicine men and women just down the street or in our tribe that we can go talk to and have mentoring. And I'm finding, because I've been going to schools and stuff with kids recently, and they're all lacking mentors. And this is a major problem. A major problem that we don't have people we can express to release to and go, hey, I want to talk to you about something personal to me, but I want to talk to my teacher. I want to talk to my parents because it's to do with them. And then this emotion is all held inside, and it can create a disease or disharmony in the vessel later. This is the next way of diving in deep and getting information from an external source, because we're not reading books. It's coming direct to you from plants. So, how does that kind of work in?
It's I'm still adjusting to it, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
And like I said I guess what I said before, that continuing education, it's never finite. That's for sure.
Right.
So, and I see myself at times not being, myself, the true self that I was down there. And all I have to do is remember back to, the work I did in Peru, and it takes me back to that place and reminds me of how I felt, how I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to act towards others. And really it's the direct correlation with the mental training. And it's not in a sense of being soft, but being stronger. Right. You're just strengthening yourself as a human, mentally, physically, emotionally, when you do that. Because like you just talked about, we hold so much stuff back from when we were kids ongoing, and you have no one to release that to. So, there's the westernized thought behind it. Obviously, I even think it might be illegal in the States to actually perform it here or whatnot.
Yeah, it's illegal here too. Right?
Yeah, but look at the history, guys. That there's documentaries from famous people all over, actors, musicians, CEOs that have just look it up. And majority of billionaires have done plant medicine. Obviously, it's there for a reason. It's still there. It's passed down to us from ancient times for us to be exposed to for a reason.
Yes.
And if somehow we can use that in a sense to create a better sense of well-being overall, lifestyle, whatever we want to call it, not holding back that stress as an early age.
Yeah.
We should, the more we talk about it openly in a sense of how great it is for, people, then I think the better chance we have of letting people more exposed to it in a healthy way.
All right. So that's amazing, dude. I'm loving that all these people from all different walks of life, we seem to be heading in the same direction. And this is what these podcasts are about. It's about getting people from all different walks of life, getting them in and understanding that we're all the same. We're all little human beings. We all want to be seen. We all want affection. We all want to be loved. We all want a better world. And this is not what the news is promoting. The news is promoting that we're very divided and we all hate each other. So this is my main thing, solution-based, and giving information out there to people that they can take home and do right away. So you said you're doing a 30-day detox package. What tips could you give people on, like, maybe a little bit of nutritional tips or some breathwork things? I know we did a breathwork thing with you, but also explain us the detox package and why do you believe detoxing is beneficial?
Absolutely. So I started a 30-day dedicated detox, and I work with groups, 15 plus, 20 plus. And what it is, I say the word detox and people automatically think, oh, I'm going to take some pill or something that's going to make me go to the bathroom for the next 5 days, and, or a juice drink cleanse, which, all these are fine. If they're helping people out, I promote all wellness for everyone. But what I've created for myself is something I've lived pretty much for the past 10 plus years since I graduated college football, and just experimenting, researching, exploring different avenues of, all the diet fads out there. They come and go. Some remain, and they're great for people. It's great. It's innovative. But it's combining what I know has worked personally with all my clients, celebrity clients, corporate clients, and putting it to a daily accountability program for 30 days. Right. So every week it's structured a little bit differently, and you have certain markers to hit, but you're doing things like fasting every morning, progressively getting longer, drinking a certain amount of water every day. For the first week, there is a parasite type herbal cleanse.
Right. Yep.
Your guts obviously directly correlate with your mindset, brain fog, so it helps clear all that stuff, gets the digestive tract on point.
Right.
And then we're also doing things like eating, only 3 meals a day. Week 3, going to shakes, but it's mainly a diet surrounded by, whole foods, no sugar, fats dominant, protein and vegetables, and having 1 or 2 cheat nights in a week for carbs, and having fun too, because I've done these things where you have to have fun. If people want to drink and use those for their carbs, have a glass of wine or 2 on a Wednesday, Saturday night, it's all good because it's the cycle of this program. But I do workout videos on YouTube, and I give those to my clients because, it's based off of 10 minutes, and you can progressively do 20, 30 plus if you want a longer workout. Right. So 10-minute Tommy workouts. And then I also do incorporate mindfulness every day. So that's one of the benchmarks every day. Gradually from 8 minutes up to 15 plus minutes of, whether it's meditation, visualization, breath work. It's optional, but it's really just learning every day, and me telling you as a coach, okay, you have to do at least 8 minutes of mindfulness today, because I know how it's going to project your emotions and your stress levels on a daily basis, and how you treat other people.
Excellent.
So,
well, and that's great that you're incorporating everything, because the food and the diet and the detox and what you're talking about, let's be honest, that's what we should have been taught 20 years ago, and we should just be doing. It should be implemented in schools. It should be a normal mainstream thing, but we're so far behind since the Western food corporations and the Western medical system came in, we had all these herbs, we had all these tinctures. We used to do detoxing, turpentine cleansing, all these different scenarios, urine therapy, but they've all been there since the dawn of time. And it's like, fuck, finally we're reliving it. We're getting back into what it is to be healthy. And let's be honest, you look around the world, I'm blown away. Like I walk down the street, I'm like, look at all these fatties, man. There's these overweight people everywhere. That they, like, what I always say is that if there was a set of monkey bars that went just 20 meters across the road,
no one finish it.
No one would get across. It's like you have to get here.
Come to America, man.
Yeah,
you got to change. It starts from the bottom up and the top down, both ways around. I mean, we got to.
I think we're actually getting pretty close to you. I think Australia is actually creeping up close to Americans because we're so lazy here. You know, we've got everything on a silver platter. We haven't got as much tyranny and things going on as you guys do.
There's a term around here that they call skinny fat.
Right.
And, listen, I'm not a discriminator. I'm a promoter of all health and wellness, but I do describe body types. I have to. That's my job.
Yep.
And, they describe skinny fat here in the papers as you have a kind of a workout bod, but you're soft because you drink a lot and you party and you don't take care of your body nutritionally. So I don't want to turn an obese world into a skinny fat world. There's got to be a medium in between. And any way I can do to help this 30-day detox program, provenly and testimonial that I have been amazing. So that's what I'm trying to do. It's not about just reducing people's body fat too. It's reducing their inflammation, reducing the awareness of actually what they're putting in, because that's a direct correlation of their energy levels, how they're going to feel on a daily basis.
Yep.
Their output morning, afternoon, and night. Mindfulness, like I just talked about, is just as important. And I know I have some friends here in California that are implementing it into their children's program. One of my friends is a school teacher, teaches second grade. First year ever, she started 5 minutes of mindfulness in class, teaching meditation, just for 5 minutes.
Yep.
After a week, she just did it for fun or whatnot. She couldn't believe the response. All the kids, their favorite time of the day for these second graders is 5 minutes.
Wow.
So it's like just incorporating it slowly, maturely at a young age. It'll be, just set in our DNA at the time you're adults, and it'll just, I know it'll be beneficial.
It's so important we get these young kids online, because I don't think I ate real food till I was like 20 years old. I did, but it was like the packaged food era came in like the 80s. When we were growing up and we were young, we were like 5, 6 years old. That's when like Nami noodles and chips and Maccas and fast food, and our parents didn't know any better. I was just like, oh, this is awesome. I can feed the kids quick because life's getting pretty busy and we can go out and do stuff. So our human body is actually really resilient to be able to deal with all of that. And then every 7 years, your body regenerates and you can do all the detoxing. Like it's lucky that this information is now becoming mainstream on the internet, that people can go in and go, right, I partied for 10 years, I did this, I did that, but now I can regenerate myself to the best, probably even better than I was when I was young. A lot of us have been vaccinated, a lot of us have been on dairy our whole lives, eaten meat our whole lives. Like even that in itself, for people to waking up and heading into a vegan, vegetarian, organic whole foods, we're aware of the GMO and the genetically modified organisms and the pesticides. So this is helping people jump and change their health into leaps and bounds. And without detoxing, you pretty much can't get healthy on this planet anymore, because the body was never designed to absorb and get rid of heavy metals, toxins, plastics, pharmaceuticals, hardeners, thickeners, yeast, all these artificial products which keep food on the shelf. It just gets trapped straight into that mucosal lining inside the stomach. And our natural body's defense is to release mucus, to protect the body from it going into the cells. But what happens when there's so much garbage, it actually gets caught in the mucus, the body produces more, and you can't get rid of it. Then you have this thick garbage bin inside the gut, inside the colon, and throughout all the organs. So for guys, like, where can they, is this detox package only for people like kind of in your, where you live, or is it an online thing they can kind of do, or how's that work?
Yeah, so I geared this and, produced this program to reach, the masses. And that way, I designed it so everyone can do it. In essence,
Amazing.
online. I have a group in St. Louis, 5 guys do it. I have a group in Arizona doing it next time. But yeah, you can do it anywhere
Cool,
around
man.
the world. It's online. I do Zoom calls where
Yep.
I go in and coach you guys twice a week. Everything we have accountability program, a live Facebook private group.
Yep.
So I'm not constantly giving people feedback all day. Then I provide everybody my workout videos, which they can view at any time.
Yep.
Yeah. So essentially, it's online, and the best, I'd say the top 5-6 things from the 30-day detox is reducing your inflammation, losing body fat.
Yep.
Definitely sleeping better, increasing your optimizing hormone levels through sleeping better, obviously.
Yep.
The mindset is just, you just can't, but even with adults, it's just amazing once people actually get forced into a practice, and if they stick with it, oh man, just the stress levels completely down. One of the clients, I did it, married lady, she just said, my husband gave me an amazing compliment. He said I was glowing. He never says that. And this was the 3rd week in. These guys from St. Louis, the Midwest guys,
He never says that.
Midwest guys think they're healthy. They lost like 15 pounds of body fat plus each. So
Wow.
yeah, it's been great. It's overall mental, physical clarity, and it's just bringing back people's self-awareness and self-esteem on a level where I can coach them individually.
Yep.
And give them an accountability program where they don't feel forced to do something. No one wants to be forced to do anything.
That's right.
I like to have fun and learn along the way, so you're creating substantial daily habits that you can take with you the rest of your life.
Right. That's beautiful. And where's what's the best place they can find? What's your website and YouTube, whatever, they can contact you for this program?
Yeah, absolutely. TommyCassano.com. TommyCassano.com. There's a link to the 30-day detox, the Eventbrite page there, where you can sign up. There's more information, or just contact me from my website directly. There's a contact me button, or email me. Instagram, Tommy Cassano. Same thing with Facebook, Tommy Cassano. YouTube, Tommy Cassano. Just my name everywhere.
Excellent, dude. Yeah, well, that's what you're saying about the detoxing the health and going down that route and having a program which is accountable. That's the issue. People, if they don't have a personal trainer, it's pretty easy for people to slack off and not really feel like doing much. And me, myself, to be honest, I'm pretty over the gym. I'm going to get back into kickboxing, and I'm looking at things like maybe doing rock climbing once a week, going to get out in the surf, ski and paddle, because I don't want to be in a gym in a treadmill with a room full of gorillas, to be honest. It's not my scene. It's not my thing. Yeah. 6 years ago, I used to like hanging out with thugs and gangsters and things like that. And that was all cool. But now it's like I want to get in, train, talk to conscious people, or be in nature. Like you said, you don't really feel it unless you're running out in the bush and things like that. So for people at home, try and implement methods into your routine, and it can be little steps at a time. Like you don't have to suddenly go change everything tomorrow, but if each day you implement a little bit of stretching in the morning, get up, drink some water, have some apple cider vinegar, and get into that slow routine, you'll find that your body will come online so quickly. And once you start detoxing organs like the gallbladder, liver, colon, you realize you actually haven't been healthy your whole entire life. And when you start detoxing, you're like, okay, is this how I'm actually supposed to feel? Wow, I can do this. Like, I don't need to saturate my life with drugs and alcohol and stimulants and coffee and all these things, because I'm actually happy just being present for a change. I'm actually cool just sitting around and relaxing, so I'm sleeping better, so I'm waking up stronger, and this is the path of alchemy that happens internally. If we don't get the physical vessel right, the mental state is not going to be correct, and then we can't connect to source. We can't get the information, we can't get the signs and the symbols and all these amazing synchronicities that don't happen. And minerals and nutrients in our body, they're like spark plugs. And that's what makes these things fire through our body. So if your body is using all of its minerals and nutrients, trying to constantly get rubbish out of the body, and it's activating the immune system, well, where's the mineral nutrients and the vital life force left for you to regenerate your skin, to stay healthy, to keep your sex drive good, to keep your skin glowing, to have healthy bones? That's not going to be there. And that's why we're seeing a race of people with osteoporosis, arthritis, you know, and all these degenerative diseases, the old man's diseases, you know, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, this is rampant. And there's going to be a splitting in the civilization. We're going to have this sick, degenerated bunch of people who are dying off in the millions, and we're going to have these people who are going to get into sovereign health. And by sovereign health, what I mean is you embodying your health. Yes, learn and go out there and do things, but actually take this into your life and go, all right, that did work for me, but not this. And work out what actually works for you, because every single person's genetics, their DNA, their RNA, their memory, their history, what we've done is slightly different. So not everything's going to work for everyone, but let's just be honest. Detoxing, healthy food, clean, fresh, filtered or spring water, sunshine, getting out in nature, meditation. These are the things that you cannot falter. They will guarantee. And detoxing, throw your detoxing in there. You've got a pretty good mix.
Fasting. That's the bit. I mean, you know, that's part of it all.
Right.
Everyone, you know, we talked about this multiple times. People have been fasting for hundreds of thousands of years, all the way back to, you know, Egyptian times. So people have been doing it for, you know, 1 day, 2 day, 30-day detox or fasting protocols you've heard from so many years ago. They did that to cure diseases. You know, when someone was diseased, they fasted and drank water. That's it.
Exactly. And a lot of people with cancer, right, they get scared into the chemotherapy. But there's a lot of good movies and DVDs coming out, like The Truth About Cancer, The Truth About Vaccines, GMOs Revealed. And we don't have to make the documentaries now. They're so well done. We can just go, guys, go watch these videos, you know, Cowspiracy, What the Health. And the fasting, the thing is, when people are in the mindset of being sick, they're thinking, I need to guzzle down heaps of food to strengthen my body. When in fact, most of the time it's like, you need to give your body a break from food. You need to get good water into you. You need to lay in the sun. And when I say lay in the sun, I mean all your clothes off. Getting sun in the genitalia and all the areas, this is very important. Everything is supposed to be saturated with vitamin D and sun and this cosmic rays which is coming in. So getting out in nature, getting in the bush and understanding that food is actually hampering our growth. In the future, we're going to see human beings who aren't going to be eating food. We're going to go from eating meat to vegetarian to vegan, and we're going to head into breatharian. There's going to be people who are going to be drawing in that vital life force energy, which has been proven in India. They've done studies on these yogis. They sit there and they meditate, and they don't eat or drink for 1 month. And that's, in our terms, that's physically impossible. So we're going to have a merging of humans, which are basically not going to be having food, and we're going to be regenerating our systems. But for now, where we are at the moment, we need the detox. We need to spend the money on the water filtration systems because our tap water is toxic. We need to stay away from the GMO food. Vaccinations, there's no debate. There's no freedom of choice. We don't need them. So I notice it can be out there information for some people looking at this channel, but try a fast. Try a 5-day fast or even a 2-day fast, you know, and see how you feel. After you'll be like, how? I didn't eat. How am I feeling so good? After day 3.5, your digestive tract shuts down. And basically, you've got 60% extra energy, which is not using your digestive tract and your immune system to go to regenerating the body. And that's when the body goes into a state of healing. It goes into a state of mending. And then it almost becomes like a spiritual journey where DMT is being released from the pineal gland and you start actually feeling yourself slipping in between the realms. You do a meditation and it's cosmic. It's like getting on the lines of doing plant medicine, not that intense, but it starts to become multi-dimensional, and that's who we are, and that's where we come from originally. Little multi-dimensional beings who have been told through school, education, all the rest of it, that we're just a skin suit walking around, and when you die, you either go to heaven or hell. Religious indoctrination. These are the things that we need to break through. We need to understand that we've been told a lot of lies, and it's about getting through the layers of that onion and back into sovereign health and a sovereign multi-dimensional being.
Absolutely. Nate, you just inspired me to fast till next Wednesday. I'm not eating for 7 days.
I'm due for myself, dude, too.
No, literally, for everyone out there, that's exactly that embodies fasting right there. What he said. Just try it. The only thing is you can do is try it and experience it for yourself. And once you do that, you'll be a believer and learn its benefits all the way down to the mental, to the cellular level, to all aspects of your being.
Yeah, well, amazing, dude. Well, I think we're kind of getting around the 45-minute mark. So Thank you so much, Tommy, for coming on and spreading some truth and what's going on for you. I'd really like to get you back on again so we can do this every couple of months and give people updates on what's going on. So for people out there, you can I'll put links at the end of this YouTube and podcast to jump on the Tommy's website so you can connect with him, see what he's up to. He's a great dude. Like I said, we'll hang out at Bar and Bay and like spend some time together. And I'm all about helping people who are doing good things in the world. I don't give a shit about anyone else. I don't care about models and what's going on. I just want people who are here to help the planet so we can live in a better planet in the future. So yeah,
appreciate it
so much. Jump on to Nate Max TV podcast, guys, if you haven't got it already. I will be pushing that every YouTube we do because I want to get people off these platforms that aren't really working for us anymore. And I want to do a little shout out just to the guys from Pure Heart Alchemy, Adrian, Isabella, who have these beautiful perfumes, grounding sprays and mists. These are amazing. Also, the Ringing Cedars of Russia. I say this in every podcast. Get on there if you want some amazing books to read. These are called The Ringing Cedars of Russia by Anastasia. This is book 5, and it's called Who Are We? This is a full embodiment of life and all these information, things we talk about in these podcasts. They're in these books. Like every page I read, I'm like, wow, like I'm blown away by it. Yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to end that podcast now, and thank you very much, Tommy, and we'll speak to everyone shortly.
Hey, thanks, brother.
Thank you.